Hi, I'm Dan Harrison. I'm with RE/MAX Professionals. I'm a real estate agent in Minnesota, and we have offices in St. Paul, Cottage Grove, Stillwater, and I work all around the Twin Cities. I work with first-time home buyers, and today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about what to do if you are a first-time home buyer. It might be your first home, or it might be the first home you've owned in a while. Starting off with, generally speaking, you're living somewhere at home, or you're renting, or you're sharing an apartment with somebody, and it can be exciting and nerve-wracking when you start to think about buying a home. It seems like a huge commitment, and it is a big process. However, we'll break it down for you into little bite-sized pieces to help you make small decisions, to make you comfortable with the big decision that will just end up happening. First and foremost, I think it's important when people are looking to buy their own home is to establish two things. What are you comfortable with, and what can you afford for a price, as well as where do you want to be. When you decide to buy that home, the first thing I'd ask you to do is we're going to try to establish a couple different things. The first thing is really is how much are you comfortable paying monthly, because you're going to be paying your mortgage back in a monthly fashion, as well as how much can you afford, how much will the bank borrow you the money for. The second thing would be, where do you want to be at? One of the first things I'll have you do is talk with a lender. A lender's going to pull up your credit score. He's going to look at your income, liabilities, which are debts, monthly payments you have to have, maybe on a car or a student loan. And he's going to compare those with the criteria that lending institutions require for a standard mortgage. Mortgages are held by mortgage-backed securities, which they have a whole bunch of guidelines they have to follow in order for them to sell those mortgages, which is what most mortgage companies do. As we establish those parameters, we'll be able to set out a range of houses that you might like. Could it be a townhome? Is it a regular single-family house that has no common walls? Is it land you want to build on? As we do that, we'll start to figure out what areas fit best for you. And then, as you start to drive through those areas, you can figure out what amenities might be there. Could it be schools? It could be you have to be 5 minutes from the coffee shop. Maybe the grocery store needs to be there, shopping, the airport, maybe your work in downtown or out in the suburbs, as well as it might be something that you do for recreation, biking, hiking, kayaking, fishing, riding horses. Now, as we've done that, we're going to try to help you establish one more parameter that you need to know, and that's how much available funds you have to work in the transaction. Now, there is a possibility that you can get a gift for part of the down payment, and we can ask the sellers to help us pay closing costs in the negotiations. Depending on the market, that's more or less feasible. When you purchase a home, you've probably heard of a down payment, and you've probably heard of closing costs, but a lot of times people don't understand that those are what add up to the total cash needed to close. Part of that might be, say, a 3% down payment, and if you're buying a $200,000 home, we can all do the math and say that that's $6,000. But in addition to that, there's going to be closing costs that are involved with that. Setting up escrows, which could be 6 months taxes, 4 months of insurance, depending on the property. And there's other things like upfront mortgage insurance that add up to the total cash to close. Now, when you meet with me, we'll talk about that, and we'll kind of help you establish that comfort level with what you want to spend, what you have to spend, and how we can generate those funds, as well as helping you understand where you are with your credit report, and that gives you some idea of what kind of rate you can get from the mortgage company. We'll have some additional videos to talk to you just a little bit about some of those things in details, as far as showing houses, making offers, all the big pieces, or all the pieces that make this seem like a big process, and we'll put them together in a way so that you can make small decisions and get extremely comfortable with it. I sell houses. I'm looking for clients like yourself. One thing I would tell you to be sure of is that whoever you choose to help you, lender, title company, real estate agent, make sure they're educating you and helping you feel comfortable with the decision, not trying to sell you something. Because when you're a first-time home buyer, it's very easy to get uncomfortable but not be able to say, whoa, and let me pump the brakes. I promise you that I will look you in the eye, I'll shake your hand, I'll tell you the truth, I'll educate you, and I'll make this process fun, and we'll get through it together. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.